Hey everyone, this is Sean and Austin Craft02.
Yep.
We are going to do a review of Avengers Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
This is our review. Don't worry, we are going to separate it into two different versions. The beginning will be non-spoiler, and then we'll move on to spoilers, but we will put a warning sign too. So with that said, we are going to start off with our review.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we're going to talk about if we liked it or not. Austin, what do you think?
Personally, I really did like Avengers: Infinity War as a Marvel film, but if you really think, but I like the idea of how long it took, like 10 years to make a movie, like how it is. But at some parts, I'm in at least following big pieces of the comics, which we can say right now because we're getting wait till
Yeah, we'll talk
spoiler.
about that later.
Yes, but at least if you read from the comics, then seeing the movie, you can see some parts that never happened, but a lot that did. Personally, some scenes I was like not happy about
Mm.
Avengers Infinity War. Like, I don't know if I should say like a comic spoiler or what, because of, well, anyway, in the comic, anyway, okay, but anyway, in the comics, Thor actually died in Ragnarok. It was not supposed to be in Affinity War, but they
Mm.
made it now he is because he's like, oh, he's a main character, so we have to make him in the movie. Which I
Yeah.
was like, parts I'm like, why haven't Thor in it? But then others, but I was like, you know what, whatever.
Yeah.
Why not? But now after what happened, I'm waiting to see what they're gonna do now with Avengers Infinity War Part 2, or aka Infinity Gauntlet, or whatever people want to
Avengers
call
4. Let's just call it that because we don't know the title yet. Let's just call it Avengers
it's mostly
4.
gonna be Avengers
Yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet because that's technically
Yeah.
kind of what it
Some
is.
people say it's Avengers Endgame, which actually it was some person posted some uh, one of the workers or something. I forget who it was, but someone released a thing and it said the title for Avengers 4 was gonna be Endgame, but
Mm.
then that was like rumored to just be a troll and someone that was just trying to throw
I
it off.
think if I was them, I would
But getting
prefer.
back on track to what we were talking about,
Yeah.
for me, I loved the movie. It was
Yeah.
my favorite movie of all time. What I want to say, Thor. Thor is amazing in this film. You definitely will.
Yeah.
For me, when I was watching the first Avengers movie, I wasn't that big of a fan of Thor. I thought
Yeah.
he was just, oh, he was kind of cool because he had a hammer.
Yeah, he really got he's a hammer.
But it was less like one of the characters I didn't really care about.
But yeah.
I didn't I liked all the other characters a bit better, but in definitely starting with Thor Ragnarok and now this Infinity War, I really like Thor. Thor definitely proves why he's a member of the team and
And mostly like
why he's a force to be reckoned with and why
he's
you would
supposed
not
to
want
be
to
the
start a fight with
strongest,
this guy.
and how he's supposed to be the
Yeah.
strongest. And that's another thing. I couldn't like how I was saying about Thor and Infinity War. I didn't like how they didn't follow him like he's supposed to be dead and all that.
Yeah.
But he was still amazing, and
Yeah.
I loved every scene he had with the Guardians in Infinity War. Especially if you've seen like clips and pictures on it, he worked a lot with like Rocket and Groot, and I thought
Yeah.
at times I'm thinking I want to see a buddy cop movie with Thor and like Groot and Rocket. I think those two
They're a good team. They're funny.
I think they can make an excellent like a buddy cop film.
Yeah.
Like go around the galaxy making trouble. Cause hello, it's
Yeah.
they easily can make it happen.
Oh, spoiler for Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Um, this is a review for Infinity War, so if you haven't seen Thor Ragnarok, then I don't know
Leave the
why you're
video.
watching Infinity War or anything.
Yeah. Have you ever
But
seen Thor Ragnarok?
if you haven't seen Thor Ragnarok, uh,
leave the video.
spoiler warning. But I mean, you saw it kind of in the trailer. Thor and Thor Ragnarok was like, oh no, I don't have a hammer, and then at the end of the movie, he's all, oh, I'm powerful, I have all these powers now, and he's cool.
Yeah.
You get to see a lot more of that in this movie, and I will move on to something else in spoiler review. I don't want to talk about
Right now. We'll
it
wait.
right
We'll
now,
wait. Yeah,
but
let's wait.
I will
Anyways,
say this is definitely a movie where you see Thor and it's like instantly you're like, oh yeah, he's definitely one of the members of the Avengers and a force to be reckoned with. He is awesome. I will say that now. He is awesome.
Yes. Then actually, think after talking about Thor, I was also thinking about character experience, and so then it shows so much of people like, oh, he's a member or whatever. It's actually Doctor Strange. He's another one I was thinking.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is awesome in
I
this.
was from the first one. Everyone's like, okay. From the Doctor Strange film, they're like, okay, he's a doctor, car accident, hands are hurt. He can't He can't be a doctor anymore. Now he's using magic. People are thinking, that's not gonna be a good Marvel film. But personally, I actually love the movie. But actually now seeing Avengers Infinity War and seeing more of Strange and Wong or
Wong.
Wong.
Yeah, Wong.
Yeah, Wong. I'm seeing more, a lot in Doctor Strange, and all of them thinking, you know what? I want to see a second film with him. Thinking how much.
Yeah.
Cause
And they're already Marvel's already talking about Doctor Strange 2 is going to be coming out
yeah,
soon.
but
It's starting work. I think they said either 2020. I think
yeah, but
somewhere around there.
yeah, but that's still, especially if especially Benjamin Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he is maybe one of my favorite actors.
He's really good.
Especially he's part of one of my all-time favorite shows, Sherlock. I'm seeing him, and I was like,
Yeah.
him as Doctor Strange. I was putting like a half and half bed thinking, is it gonna be good or bad? But
Definitely good. I definitely enjoyed it.
He is amazing, Doctor Strange, and you can see a lot better in him in Avengers Infinity War. You see a lot more of his true power. Even without the time stone, you can see a lot better and cooler stuff without the stone now.
When I heard they were making the Doctor Strange movie, I was a little worried. I didn't really know anything about Doctor Strange, and I'm like, okay, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna like this movie. So I went to see it, and I liked it, and it made me like the character, and yeah, to see him back in Infinity War was awesome. And what else was I gonna say? He does a lot of cool stuff in this movie. When we get to spoiler parts, I will say something because I just you want to experience this movie for yourself, and I don't want to talk about a lot of the scenes that are awesome and just have you go, oh, I saw this review. I already had it spoiled. It's not as exciting when you know what's about to happen, which is why I'm going to save it for the spoiler part of this review.
Yeah.
Now,
who should we go talk? Let's talk about the Guardians. I think.
Yeah, let's talk about the Guardians a little bit.
Okay, I personally, from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, they're maybe one of my favorite Marvel movie franchise. Out of like the Iron Man movies or the Captain America movies or Avengers or what, Guardians of the Galaxy might be my favorite. Alright, I love Star-Lord. I love Drax. I love Gamora. I love Rocket. I love Groot. I love Yondu. I love them all. Even Yondu. Remember, at school, I even went as Yondu for like Superhero Day or Halloween. I did at the school.
Yeah, you did at school. We had a Halloween day, and you came in as Yondu.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It kind of proves all right there. I love the Guardians, and especially it shows a lot more from like how it was for like the first two Guardian movies. Cause when he did after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 came out, it was 4 months after what happened back with the war that happened in the first Guardians. Now when Infinity War came out, it was like 40 years past.
Yeah.
So it proves they really mature a lot more, became more of a
Which is why
it was. No.
I'm not sure if this is a spoiler. I mean, it's not anything big. I mean, if you watch the trailer, you realize. Or I'm just gonna say this. They start to understand Groot. They can understand Groot.
Yeah.
And that's because the first Guardians of the Galaxy film took place in 2014 or whatever, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 took place right after. Literally right after. So this movie takes place years after, so it's like they've had all this time to do other stuff. So the reason they understand Groot is because they've known him for a certain amount of time, and they've been able to understand him more. And they've had time to work with him.
And that's what I'm waiting about the Guardians of Guardians Volume 3 coming out.
Yeah.
Especially if you saw what happened. Well, should we spoil about the one ending credit in Volume 2 they had about who's going to be in it?
Spoiler for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
About 3, about who's going to be in it.
Okay, if it's spoiling Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, this is fine because we're reviewing Infinity War.
It was thinking about...
Fair warning, if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I guess we're about to do a spoiler for that movie. But if you haven't seen these movies, why are you here?
If you haven't seen Guardians of Volume 2 and you have Netflix...
If you haven't seen any of these movies,
why
are you watching? Why are you thinking of going to see Infinity War without seeing those? Definitely see all the Marvel movies before you see Infinity War.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
so with that said.
Anyway, so like it was saying like the Queen right there was like saying like, oh, we need to make an ultimate weapon to take out the Guardians, and it was using. It looked like a stone almost. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Warning guys, it was not really a. It's supposed to not to be a Affinity Stone, but
yeah.
I think it will be. I'll talk more about it in the spoiler review and everything.
Yeah.
I'll talk more depth about it. But it was saying it's supposed to be Adam Warlock, which, if you really read the comics and everything, if you know, he was one of them with Captain Marvel and the other Avengers who fought against Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet. So he was like one of the big ones who helped the Avengers with Captain Marvel also against, who killed. He was the big reason how Thanos died was, he was the one who really supposed to kill him in the comics, but I don't know if they're ever gonna. Sure, but that's the reason I'm talking about, like, that's why I'm waiting about Volume 3, because now they're showing Adam Warlock. Well, spoiler alert, he was not in Infinity War, so it's kind of showing, like...
He wasn't in Infinity War.
So it's saying, like, where's Adam Warlock? What's all happening? Did the Guardians maybe kill him in Volume 3 or what? We don't know.
We'll have to see. Volume 3 apparently takes place after Infinity War and all this.
Well, well, it's supposed to be even before Infinity War. Because they have to show Adam Warlock and about the story.
Yeah. But, they'll get to that, and that's another different movie, but,
we really don't know much yet.
That's another movie,
We'll wait another, like, year or two about when that one comes out, I don't know.
James Gunn finished the script just recently. He said he's been working on it for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, something funny, James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, who also wrote the scripts for them and everything, we have the same birthday. He was born on August 5th.
Wow.
So, James Gunn and I have the same birthday. Which is pretty awesome because he's one of my favorite directors. And he wrote the script, he wrote the lines for all the Guardians in Infinity War.
Actually, have you ever seen any of the Lord of the Rings films yet?
No, I have not. I've seen a Hobbit movie.
Okay, because he's also the one who directed the Middle Earth films, like Lord of the Rings and Hobbit. So that's...
He also wrote the script for the older Scooby-Doo movies.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to get back to Infinity War. I want to get back to Infinity War.
I'm sorry about...
Sorry for getting so off topic, but I'm still... The Guardians were good in this movie.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell the relationship between Star-Lord and Gamora has increased.
Really? Yeah, it really...
They are now...
Something like in the first one, like, they hate each other. The second one, they're being, like, the friends.
Just starting to kind of get together at the end of the movie. This one, they are a couple. They're a couple.
Yeah, they're like completely...
And they jump right into it.
No.
Yeah, and again, all of the main Avengers are awesome in this movie. Spider-Man is really good.
Yes.
I was thinking he wouldn't have much screen time because of his movie being 2017 and them doing filming both kind of close together. I was thinking maybe he's not going to have much screen time in this one just because they want to build up for the other movies. He's going to be more of a minor character. But no, I was wrong. He was a major part of this movie and had a lot to do with this movie. I will get to more on him in the spoilers. Yes. Captain America or Nomad or Steve Rogers or whatever you want to call him in this movie. He's good. I liked him.
Same here. Really.
I kind of want to see more of him and more of a lot of characters.
Well, there was only one character that really disappointed me was Bruce Banner and the Hulk.
Yeah, but I want to talk about that in the spoiler section.
We can wait to the spoilers.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in the spoiler section, but I definitely want to see more of him.
Yes. I think many people do, really.
Pretty much all the characters I want to see more of. I. You want to just go to the spoiler section now?
Well, I didn't think anyone else would really need any other.
I mean, I'll just put this way: everyone is good in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Thanos proves to be one of the best Marvel villains,
Actually, that's another reason.
if not the best Marvel villain I've ever seen.
Actually, I think
personally my favorite Marvel villain.
I think we should talk a little bit about Thanos.
Yeah, let's talk about Thanos a little bit. But I'm really gonna start talking about all of him and all the rest of the stuff in spoiler section. Once we get to spoiler section, it's gonna go crazy. We're gonna. Oh man. But Thanos, I will say right now, in my opinion, my favorite Marvel villain, and he definitely proves to be very powerful and.
Yeah,
he's a good villain.
I think he's still like maybe he's tied with like Killmonger as favorite Marvel villain. Cause come on, Killmonger was amazing.
I liked Killmonger.
I loved Killmonger. I love the guy who played Killmonger. I've always looked a big
Michael B. Jordan is awesome.
I've always been a big fan of him, but anyway, but Thanos though, it's like he proves he is the Mad Titan. He's like it proves why he.
And everyone was worried about them dumbing him down. I will say a little bit, but definitely does not take away from the film at all. He's still very powerful.
But actually,
once we get to the spoiler section, we'll be able to talk about exactly what he does.
And it proves like everyone's saying like Avengers: The Fan was gonna be more about like showing more of the Avengers and Guardians and all of them. It actually shows. Actually, I was reading something. It says half of the movie. The character that was shown the most was actually Thanos. People were saying the whole movie was only about Thanos than just Iron Man or the Avengers or the Guardians. It was precisely only for Thanos only. He was the only one that was supposed to show about.
Yeah.
So it pretty much was the Thanos.
One of the things about this movie that makes it, in my opinion, better than the others, which makes this villain much better than the others, is because they spent time building this character in this movie, and it says Avengers in the title, but it's like not 100% the Avengers, and it's not just like, oh hey, there's a villain and they're facing this guy. No, they spent a long time building this character, and you get to see kind of his reasons and everything, why he's doing it, and some people can actually say, is he wrong? Or is he partially right? And it's like, that's something I like about these characters now. It seems like now Marvel is really working on building their villains.
Yeah, even me after seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp, I see some major changes I saw after they did before Infinity War and now after Infinity War.
Seems like 2018, starting now, they've really increased the game on villains.
Yeah.
Killmonger, Thanos, Ghost. I haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp. He has. I'm still waiting to go. My brother went with my nephew. I still haven't been able to see it, but I really want to see it.
I would say Ghost is still amazing, but this is not.
I don't want to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp right now, but I don't want to talk about any of that.
That's for another time. That's for another video.
But you want to go to the spoiler section?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna end this and go to the spoiler section. We will be right back.
Alright.
Okay, just in case you didn't catch it, this is the spoiler section. So, if you didn't exit out the video right now and you don't want any spoilers, click out right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, they start the movie right off. They just kick it off with the movie.
Like
every Marvel movie starts with that music, the intro, and the music over the intro, the happy kind of, not really happy, but kind of.
Not the first Captain America film. It's kind of showed off like, Red Skull's coming in, killing people.
But still, you always had that Marvel intro that had kind of a happy music and kind of made you feel like,
or you go into David Black Panther, I showed him. Well, I want to say really happy
Yeah,
because of the
but still,
but still,
you get the
but
point. It starts off with that music and the Marvel intro.
but it's like
It
wait,
starts off with the Marvel intro in this movie, but like
but seeing it, but this one
no music,
it was like
no
this was
music. It
this is
was
how it was. Okay, this is what I saw.
silent.
This is how it was. Like all these trailers were done. The movie starts. It's pitch black, and then like right there, you see like Xenos ship right here.
Yeah.
Then like so like the ship that Thor and them all came and left. All
Real quick, I
halfway,
want to say
halfway the story news.
you start off with the Marvel intro, and you're
No,
hearing.
actually no, it's halfway through it. It got to it.
Yeah, you're watching the Marvel intro, and if you're listening, it's all quiet. There's no music. All you're hearing is one of the Asgard ships calling for help. They're saying, "We've been attacked. We've been ambushed. Please send help."
Then that person got gone.
Oh my God, Thor! Get help! Get help! My brother's been injured. No, not that kind of get help. No, they were calling for help. They've been ambushed. If you've seen the post-credit scenes for Thor Ragnarok, you know they ran into a ship. That ship was Thanos's. If in case anyone didn't know.
Yeah.
Since we're in the spoiler section, we can just say it. They were wrecked. Like pretty much everyone died. Now,
almost everyone.
The writers eventually revealed that yes, they had escape pods, and apparently Valkyrie escaped. Yeah, she was confirmed to escape. They have not confirmed what happened to Korg, but I'd assume he'd survive because fans loved him. I loved him, and I'd assume they wouldn't just create that character for Ragnarok and then just go, oh hey, he's gone. But yeah, there were some escape pods, but not many got out. They were ambushed. So they started off. Thor is
on
like
the ground. Pinned.
On the ground.
He's pinned by.
He's
Thanos.
pinned. So
yeah.
Thanos is the children of Thanos. I forget what his name. The guy that looks like Squidward. Iron Man called Squidward. He
the one general guy.
Yeah. He was saying how consider this mercy and all this Thanos has come and you guys should be happy that it was Thanos. Blah 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 blah. Then Heimdall was all, I need to get everyone out of here. So he no, that's later. So Hulk jump scare pretty much jumps out of nowhere on Thanos, and then like they get in a fight, and then Thanos is like he was caught off guard, and Hulk's all like boom boom boom, he's beating the crap out of Thanos, and he's all good because keep in mind in Ragnarok he's so used to winning. Infinity War, he's so used to winning that he didn't expect this. He was pretty good. He got Thanos off guard, and then Thanos went from like, oh, off guard, you got me off guard, but Thanos freaking.
He grabbed him and just
boom. He hit him in a joint, like at a weak point. He hit him in one of the pressure points, and then Hulk's like going all like, oh my gosh, ow, and then like he's getting all off guard, and then Thanos just like owns him. Boom, slams him down. He's on the ground, and like.
Thor's all mad and everything.
That scarred Hulk for the rest of the movie. He didn't want to come out of that.
It was like the whole movie. That's what I was talking about a while ago, about like the Banner and Hulk thing. Because Hulk, that was the only time you really saw Hulk.
Yes, you get to see him, and he's awesome in that scene. Yes, he was awesome in that scene.
Yes, but
and yes, there's a reason he's not in the rest of the movie, because he's like, I can't believe I lost that.
But like, yeah, it's like...
And so he's been humiliated by Thanos, and Thanos had just... Keep in mind, Hulk's mentality at the point is he's not that old. Because keep in mind, the Hulk is only aging every time it comes out. So he had a couple years to age between the time between Age of Ultron and Ragnarok. But he's not that old. So while Dr. Banner is a grown adult and he's wise, Hulk's a child, pretty much. He's a child. Yeah. And he's used to winning. Keep in mind, Ragnarok, he was winning. He'd win all those fights. And to all of a sudden be humiliated by this person, just humiliated.
Yeah.
Feels
then like, but then it came to the point of
what just happened.
But then you also saw in the beginning of the movie that he already had the Power Stone that he stole from the Nova Corps.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay. Then it was like saying like, oh Loki, you have the Tesseract and everything.
So then,
Of course, Loki did have
after
the
Thanos pretty much owns Hulk,
hmm
they
He was about to go out.
Heimdall sends his
Person out
last strength to
like
send Hulk
to Earth
off to Earth
to warn everyone.
to warn everyone. He didn't have enough strength to get everyone, but he got Dr. Banner out of there. Well, Hulk, who then switches to Dr. Banner, but he gets him out of there, and then immediately the children of Thanos were just like, that guy's still alive.
Yeah.
Boom. They wiped Heimdall out just like that, and
It was hard.
it was hard. And then if you thought watching Heimdall die
Was emotional.
was emotional, just wait a few seconds.
Then after that, it was like Thor, his head's getting crushed and everything by like Thanos. And
Thor's head is getting crushed because Thanos is trying to get the Tesseract, and
but then somehow Loki comes out like, stop,
he's like,
stop,
he's
stop.
trying to get, and then he's like, I don't have it, and then Loki's like, wait, I have it, and then Thor's like, what? No, it was destroyed on Asgard when Asgard was destroyed, and then Loki's like, actually, brother. And that's the scene from the trailer. He reveals that he has the Tesseract, and so he ends up being forced to give the Tesseract to Thanos in exchange for his brother, which I thought was a really nice thing to do for the character.
And especially he was saying emotional way, saying like, I was like,
He's finally a good guy.
he was like also saying like he
Yeah.
was like Loki, like Loki. What was the last name?
Laufeyson.
No, like Thor's last name. Was it last?
Thor Odinson.
Odinson. So that's what he was saying like, I'm Loki Odinson and everything, father of like Odin and everything. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You finally brought out he was actually an Odin.
And he finally considers himself Thor's brother and is happy to be Thor's brother, and I like it. They had a good start of a friendship.
It was kind of like happy and sad. It was like a happy
and
sad moment. Then it was
they
like,
crush it with
Loki.
Thanos is like.
Yep, just killed Loki. Like.
So they were all. Loki was like, I pledge my allegiance to you, Thanos. My undying fidelity.
Yeah, my undying.
And then behind his back, which I thought was kind of stupid of him to automatically use this, but he was forming a dagger, and then he like goes for it, but then Thanos uses the stone to freeze it so that Loki can't move, and then so Loki's just freezing there with the knife in his hand close to Thanos' neck, and Thanos just like, and then like, just immediately grabs him by the throat, and then like, Thor's going crazy, so they put this like, I don't know what they call it, but they put all this stuff around him so he can't even move. He can't talk. So all he can do is just watch and take in. He can't do anything. So he's just watching as Thanos is just holding his brother in his hands. And Loki says, you will never be a god. And then Thanos just kind of smiles and then just... kills him right there at the beginning of the movie. Kills him at the beginning of the movie, and just
that proves how
no more redemptions this time, Thanos says right to Thor. And then Thor's just left to go over his brother's body and just, did this really just happen? I had nothing I could do. After Loki had just become a hero and was...
Yeah, it's... But, okay, then blah blah blah, the ship blows up,
so the whole planet that they were stuck on blows up, and he gets launched, and that's how he meets the Guardians. So then...
Then flash forward, like, Banner lands in, like, Doctor Strange's, like, temple and everything.
Yeah,
he's, like,
pretty much,
like,
Dr. Banner tells everyone, oh my god, this just happened. Thanos just killed all of Asgard.
Yeah, he was like...
I don't even know who's left. We gotta prepare. This is all happening. He's coming for us. He's looking for the stones. What's happening? And then as soon as that happens, the children of Thanos are already arriving on Earth, and then they hear an explosion. Everyone's going panicking outside. So all the Doctor Strange, Wong, uh,
Iron Man.
Iron Man, and Dr. Banner all walk outside, and they're like, "What's going on?" And then they see the giant ship. Sorry, Squidward, Earth is closed.
Yeah.
Iron Man is the best in this film.
Yes.
He
later,
is amazing.
then later you see Peter on the bus, and like you might see in the
Peter's on the bus, and then he sees the giant circle donut thing, and then he goes over to help in the fight, and after he helps with the fight, Iron Man's pretty much like, "Thanks for the help, kid, but this is no fight for you. Go home." And of course, Peter, being a teenager and wanting to prove himself to Mr. Stark,
and after him,
goes,
Stark,
"Hey, you know what? Mr. Stark doesn't think I'm good with this. I'm gonna follow him onto the giant ship and fight the bad guys. I'm gonna go with them." And so he sneaks on board. Doctor Strange is like captured, and Doctor Strange is captured. They're trying to get the stone from him, but he won't give it up, and pretty much Iron Man rescues him, and then Spider-Man joins in and helps, and the Iron Man grants Spider-Man the rank of Avenger, which I thought that was really cool.
Well, he technically kind of did call him ranked him as a...
Congratulations, kid. You're an Avenger.
Well, he kind of did tell him he was an Avenger at the end of Homecoming, but...
Yeah, but this one, it's official. He just kind of went, Congratulations, kid, you're an Avenger.
It was a joke, though, you think of doing that.
Yeah, but
he was just
still, it was like, Peter's, like, processing this, "Oh my god, I'm an Avenger. Yes." And then,
well, he just noticed during a ship in space.
Yeah.
With Squidward.
Squidward.
Well, who somehow
they just
who kidnapped Strange.
Yeah,
he got
he got blown out of the ship after the fight with Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. Spider-Man gets the new suit, and it's awesome.
Ultimate Spider. Yeah, the Iron Spider suit, which
it's awesome.
I personally say I would love to see more.
Yeah, I want to see more of that suit. Be right back. Looks like this clip is about to end, and I have to add more time because we got a lot more to talk about. I'm gonna stop it real quick, and then I'm gonna add another thing.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Now let's just skip a little bit because really there's a lot of action in this movie. If you want a good action movie, this is a good action movie.
Yeah.
But let's skip to how he finds the Soul Stone. I think it was
the
one that everyone was like, "Where is the Soul Stone?" Gamora knows where it is, and so Thanos. At the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Nebula, I don't know how to say her name, but Gamora's sister Nebula, or however you say her name, she was captured by Thanos after she went after him. So Thanos had
we
her
don't know
captured.
Because we might not know till Infinity War 3, maybe. We might not know.
Somewhere around there, but
I don't know.
she was captured, and she's being tortured, and Gamora's captured by Thanos, and then in order to save her sister, Gamora has to tell Thanos where the stone is, because he knows that she knows, and she takes him to the stone, and Red Skull is revealed to be at this place, and he is pretty much like the gatekeeper, or whatever you want to call it. He's watching over the stone, and you have to sacrifice a soul for the Soul Stone, and Gamora, in an attempt to stop all this, grabs the knife that he had given her a long time ago and tries to stab herself so that he couldn't sacrifice her because she's already dead. But he used one of the stones that he has to turn the knife into bubbles so that she didn't die, and he grabs her by the arm and threw her off.
And that was another thing I need to talk about. Talking about the Adam Warlock part.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking is like how they might do Volume 3. I'm thinking like, okay, they're maybe because in the Because actually, that's what Adam Warlock's power is from, was the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
So they might be showing something about, like, alright, Adam Warlock, he has a Soul Stone. Something's gonna happen, it'll end up to that planet. We don't
Yeah.
know. Now I'm thinking.
Now, so you see Gamora die, but the thing is, some people have said, I think James Gunn said,
Mhm.
I could be wrong, keep in mind I could be wrong, so none of this is 100% confirmed, but someone said that she was trapped inside the Soul Stone, and that they will somehow release her back sometime in another part of it. I don't know. We'll see in Avengers 4, but she's dead for now, and
Like, if almost some of the others, we might. No, let's just bring up the people that are.
we'll get to there in a second.
Well,
So then, later in the battle after Avengers, I have the Avengers in space. Keep in mind, there's the Avengers team on Earth, and then there's Avengers in space. The Avengers in space are fighting Thanos, and they almost beat him. They have Mantis controlling him, like she did with Ego.
Yeah, Ego.
When she'd make him sleep and try to calm him, she was using that while the rest of Avengers were holding down. And then Star Lord's like, I didn't think you'd be that easy to capture. Now where's Gamora? And then Mantis reveals, oh, he's feeling mourning. He's feeling sad. He's upset right now. He's heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nebula reveals he's mourning over the loss of someone. And then immediately Star Wars like, no, tell me you didn't. Tell me you didn't do it. You didn't do it, did you? And then
of course he's like, I had to.
I had to. And then, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. And then Star Lord freaks out, which this is the most controversial part of the movie right here. This scene, because this sent fans crazy. And personally, for me, it's like Chris Pratt was getting death threats because of what his character did for losing it and freaking out on Thanos and pretty much causing the team to fail that part and not be able to get the gauntlet off him, which to me that is not okay. You should never send a death threat to an actor or writer or anyone. Never. That is never okay.
A person like him, 'cause he's...
First of all, it wasn't even his fault. He didn't write the movie. He didn't choose for that to happen. And do you blame the character? He lost his mother from his father, who put
a tumor.
the tumor inside of her to kill her. He was forced to kill his father, and then he watched the person who was truly who felt the thing he had closest to a father. He had to watch that person sacrifice himself.
Yes.
So now the only person he feels he has left in the world that cares about him and understands him is Gamora.
Well, he had Drax and...
Yes, he has those, but they were just his friends. They, to him, didn't feel...
family. The more family...
Gamora was the one who he felt truly understood him and was there for him. And he just found out that she had just died, and by this Mad Titan that's sitting right there in front of you. That person just killed the love of your life in front, and now he's right there in front of you. Yeah. And you realize he's right there. It's all coming at you all at once. You have no time to react. You don't have time to go home and process it. You don't have time to go process it. You don't have time. No, they're taking actions. The whole team's trying to get this thing off of Thanos. You're sitting there processing the death of the love of your life. You don't have time to process anything, so it's all just coming at you all at once. No time to prepare. There's no soft way of putting this. There was no, hey buddy, we need to talk about something. Gamora's dead. There's no time for that. No, it's all coming at you all at once. So, his actions are justified, 100%. Yeah. And think about it this way: what would you do if you were in his situation?
I would have done the same thing like he did. I would go nuts about it.
I would have too.
If I lost my mom from my dad, who my real father who might have killed her, then losing had to kill my actual father, then killing the guy who raced
all of this stuff happening, his actions are certified. So, for the people who claim they're fans and are upset because he did what he did, and they're sending death threats and stuff, just don't.
See,
Don't even call yourself a fan. If you were a fan, you would have understood that
it was what happened.
this is all part of a plan. Keep in mind, Doctor Strange, one in time,
and try to see
over a million times, trying to see how many times they'd win, and have an outcome that would win. And there's only one, and this is the only one that he said, and so Doctor Strange knows that this is how it all happens. If Doctor Strange knew this wasn't how it was gonna win, he would have stopped Star-Lord right there. He would have done more to stop Star-Lord from doing it, but he kind of just stood by and let this happen. So it's like Doctor Strange has a plan, and there's only one way to win. He knows something's gonna happen, so he has a plan. So if you want to be mad at someone, be mad at Doctor Strange, but just because you're mad at him, don't send death threats to Benedict Cumberbatch. Don't send death threats to anyone. It's never their fault. No one deserves that. We will talk about that more in another video.
Then
but
later, like somehow he gets those time
so
stones.
he gets the stones, and they have an awesome fight scene on Earth where Thanos teleports there, and then everyone's like attacking them. Hulk's in the Hulk, well, not Hulk, Dr. Banner's in the Hulkbuster suit, and he goes to fight Thanos. Thanos pretty much makes us that he just kind of goes right through him and gets stuck into the side of a mountain and is like stuck there. He can't move. So then Captain America does the whole scene where he runs up and like catches the gauntlet, and then like is doing this, and then Thanos just you're actually pretty strong.
Yeah.
Knocks him to the side, and then he gets to Scarlet Witch is having an emotional scene. She's trying to get the stone out of Vision's head.
Which is another thing, like the same thing with like the Star-Lord and Gamora thing, like the love thing, like them.
Yeah, she has to watch as she's forced to kill the one she loves in order to save the rest of the team. So she's having an emotional moment. She has to watch Vision die because she has to get the stone out of his head, which will cause him to die. And then after that, Thanos walks up and he's like, "I understand, my child." And he's like, "Oh, cool, you managed to stop me. Oh, wait, I have the time stone now." Reverses time, brings Vision back. So Scarlet Witch is watching a second time, watching him die a second time. And Thanos just cruelly takes it out of Vision's head and just...
Yeah.
Vision's body just turns gray and just...
Yeah.
And so she has to watch twice. And then Thanos just like knocks her unconscious. And then Thor comes in, and it's one of the best scenes in the movie where he just he gets his new weapon.
It's a hammer axe. It's like the new.
Stormbreaker. That's the name, Stormbreaker. He uses Stormbreaker, and he just like comes down on Thanos, and then just like lands on Thanos, and just like right through the heart. And it's that moment, like, oh my God, did they just beat Thanos? Did they just beat him? Now, of course, anyone's gonna know. No, he didn't beat him yet. So he gets him. And then he's like, "You will pay for killing Loki. I told you you will die for that." And then Thanos goes, "You should have aimed for the head." And then just, they did it. They did the Infinity War, the snap.
Well, Infinity Gauntlet, really.
Infinity Gauntlet. They did the snap. And at first, the Avengers don't know what's going on. And Thor's just standing there like, what's happening? So Thanos just teleports somewhere else, and the Stormbreaker drops on the ground, and then Thor's just processing it like, what just happened? What did he just do? And Captain America walks over. Where did he go? And then Thor's just like processing everything. And then Bucky comes over. Steve. And like he's holding his gun, and then all of a sudden his arm's fading, and then just collapses over, and he just turns to dust. Well, ashes, and then Captain America goes over to the body, and then just like puts his hand down where the ashes and
Yeah.
just like he doesn't even know. No one knows how to process this. Like, well, yes, some people say, oh, they didn't react that well. They were just kind of not reacting, like they just lost their best friend. They just died. No, you don't even know what happened. You don't even know what happened. You just saw your best friend turn to ash. You don't know how to react. You're processing it, and
A
he's just
lot of
like,
them lost their best friends.
what the heck?
Dude, Rocket.
And then they go
and,
to they cut over to War
Yeah.
Machine and Falcon,
Falcon.
and then
Falcon's
War
going-
Machine's going, Sam, Sam. He's wondering where he is because they just beat the one fight, and he's going, Sam, where are you? And then you see Falcon just like turn to dust, and then he just turns to dust, and then then they go to Groot and Rocket, and
then Groot going.
Groot's going, I'm fading, and then Rocket's like, no, no, what are you doing? And he goes, Groot goes his last words, I am Groot.
Which,
And then the Rocket's going, no, 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 don't say that, no. It was later confirmed that what Groot said was, Dad? He was calling Rocket his dad. And so he's fading right in front of Rocket.
yeah.
And so this is like a second time that Rocket has to watch his best friend from all time
Yeah.
just go away, and this time he doesn't even know if he's coming back at all.
Then
And
you go to the planet.
they go to the planet, and then the first one to start hitting the effects was Mantis, and she's like, something's happening, and then she like just vanishes, and then Drax is like, whoa, what's happening? And then like he starts evaporating, and then
Chris
Star-Lord
Lord,
looks
yeah.
over and he's like, and then Iron Man's like, steady, Quill. Oh man. And then he just, and then this is where it gets to the most emotional part of the movie, and this was improv right here. Tom Holland was improving this. Mr. Stark, Iron Man looks over. I don't feel so good. Mr. Stark, I don't want to go. Please, Mr. Stark, I want to go home. No, I don't want to go. Please, please, I don't want to go home. And he's hugging Iron Man. He's having an emotional breakdown. He's like, I don't want to go. Because keep in mind, not Iron Man, Spider-Man's still kind of like a kid. He's a teenager. And he doesn't know how to process it. And his spider senses are slowing it down. So while everyone else was just quick, it was all taking really slow for him because his spider senses were slowing everything down. And he could tell something was happening. So everything was going slow for him. It was painful death because he was having it slow. And so Iron Man, keep in mind in Homecoming, remember the scene where pretty much Iron Man's like, people could have died tonight, and that would have been on you. And if you had died, I feel like that's on me. And I don't want that on my conscience. And Spider-Man's all like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Because keep in mind, Iron Man feels like this is like his child, and Iron Man's the one who brought Spider-Man into all of this. He's the one who got Spider-Man involved in the team, and if it weren't for him, Spider-Man wouldn't have even been in space. And so Iron Man feels like the only reason Spider-Man's been on this mission was because he felt like it was his fault he's on this mission. And Spider-Man sees him as like a father figure, and
Anyway,
they
pretty much just say Spider-Man dies.
Spider-Man just turns to dust, and then Doctor Strange. You turn to Doctor Strange, and he's like, "It was the only way."
Then
And then he
Doctor
turns to
goes
dust.
away.
And the only people on space left are Iron Man and Nebula, and they're the only ones left on space, and they don't even know what happened on Earth. And then Nebula says to Iron Man, "He did it." And then it cuts to Thanos.
Well, and then we don't forget to say the
One second, I have to add another. Alright, we were running out of time on that one clip. We have to edit in clips and stuff, so that's why we were cut out. But back to what we were talking about. The space scene. They were all so Thanos had just done it, and so he's teleported somewhere else, and he's taken all, and he's like, I just won. And one thing we forgot to talk about was Black Panther. He goes over. They just won the battle, and then I forget her name. The person who wears red and the general of Wakanda. She's on the ground, and he goes over, and he's like holding his hand out, and he's like, "Get up! This is no place to die." And then she reaches for him.
And he dies.
And then his hand just starts evaporating, and then he just turns to dust, and she's like, what just happened?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I have to say about this movie, I did not expect some of the characters to die, because they were saying how
Like the Vision.
they were gonna make more movies. Like Spider-Man is gonna have another movie. Doctor Strange is gonna have a movie. Not Doctor Panther. Black Panther was gonna have another movie. And then the characters you thought weren't gonna die didn't die.
Well,
I mean, they died. The characters you thought weren't gonna
die.
weren't gonna die died. And the characters you thought were gonna die, Iron Man and Captain America, everyone thought, oh, they're gonna die. No, they're still alive so far. We have to wait for Avengers 4. We have to wait till Avengers 4 for that.
So
But,
the ones who technically really lived.
and
The ones who really lived were just Cap, Iron.
the main
Hulk,
Avengers, the
Thor.
original Avengers, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America,
War Machine.
Black Widow. As far as we know, Hawkeye. Hawkeye wasn't even in the movie. Ant-Man wasn't in the movie.
He lived. He lives, actually.
Yeah, I feel like there's another person not in the movie.
I'm gonna spoil, but actually he lived. Actually, Ant-Man's going. They say he's going to be in Avengers 4, so Ant-Man lived.
Yeah, Ant-Man's going to be in Avengers 4. I mean, I already knew that. If you see the behind-the-scenes footage, there's Ant-Man in there, but he's apparently going to have a big part of Avengers 4. I haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, so I don't know how that all ties in, but we're not going to talk about that here.
I can't talk about it.
But they're not in the movie, so I want to know where Hawkeye was, mostly. I want to know where Hawkeye was.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I didn't expect a lot of the stuff to happen in this movie that happened.
A lot of people didn't.
And they took a lot more risk, and that's one of the things I love Marvel for. They take risks.
But then the ending credits,
the ending credits, they ended the credits. You know how at the end of the movie they go, Captain America Civil War, or whatever movie you're watching. So this one, the music was not happy or anything. They had the dark, slow, sad music. And you see the title, Avengers Infinity War. And then all the letters just turn to dust. This movie was extremely emotional.
Yeah.
I only almost cried for one part. And that was the scene where Iron Man almost died.
Yeah.
He had one of the most amazing scenes in this movie, where he's fighting Thanos, and he made Thanos bleed. So he's fighting him, and then he goes for an attack. Thanos cuts the thing off, and then swings it back, stabs it right through Iron Man. You all think he's about to die, and then Doctor Strange goes, "Wait, I'll give you the stone here," and then that's how Iron Man is saved. Mm-hmm. And that's the only scene I almost cried on, because Robert Downey Jr. is my favorite actor. Iron Man's my favorite character. Well, actually, I think Captain America's my favorite character overall, but still, Iron Man's I love Iron Man, and to see that happen, I was just like, whoa, please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't. And then they just kept throwing. The second he was about to do all that, I could see it coming. I was ready for him to stab Iron Man. I kind of felt it coming. I was like, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. But I kind of expected them to kill him off at that scene. It was gonna be emotional at that scene, but they let him live. And that's how Thanos got the stone. But he survives, and...
But I think the part that I always cried, but me, I never cried either. I was close. I did times I did that. So I never really physically cried. The part I was close, there was a lot of them, because I've always been a big Marvel fan. But Black Panther and that one I almost cried on, because I love Black Panther's one of my all-time favorites. Anyone can ask me.
Hey, someone's joining us for the review. Daisy, you want to say something?
No.
Guess not.
Right.
Okay.
But anyway, everyone's always oh, who's your favorite Avenger and all that. I always say Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Iron Man, Cap, Thor. I love
all the characters.
But see, 2 out of the 5 I said died. Even Spider-Man I love. I was heartbroken when Spider-Man died. Doctor Strange died. Black Panther died. I was emotional.
This was a really emotional movie, but it was good. It felt...
But then came the ending, the ending credit.
Oh, you get to the ending credits, and Samuel Jackson, you want to know where he's been all this time, and he's in the car with Maria Hill, and they're driving down the road, and all of a sudden they get in a crash with which one of the citizens were turning into dust, and one of the things I like was it wasn't just the Avengers turning to dust. It was like more of the whole city,
Yeah.
everyone. So it wasn't just affecting the Avengers; it was affecting everyone. And people were helicopter pilots were just turning to dust, and the whole city's going to crap. But Nick Fury doesn't even know what's going on, so they get in a crash. Their car crashes. He gets out, and Maria Hill goes over to the window of the car, and she's like, "No one's here." And then Nick Fury turns over, and he's like, "Maria, what's going on?" And then
And
she's gone, and then he's like, "Oh crap, what's happening?" And then he goes running back to the car they were in, and meanwhile he runs right through a citizen that just turned to dust. Oh my god, something funny about that. What if that person wasn't about to turn to dust? What if that person wasn't about to turn to dust? And he just ended up running into someone.
Oh.
But this person, he just ran through this person that just like turned to dust immediately. And then he gets to the car, he opens the door, he pulls his this little contact thing down, and then he starts turning to dust. He manages to push the button, but he's turning to dust, and then he is evaporating, and then he says,
"Oh mother."
And then like gets cut off, and then
because
they gotta keep it PG-13. But they had to cut
well, they
that
can
off.
still say in
They could still set it, but still
they
he
can't
gets cut off.
it's Disney.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they could have if they wanted to, but
and then that machine thing, it's going beep,
yeah.
beep.
So he turns to
beep,
dust, and then
beep.
they zoom in on the call thing, and
it's going beep,
it's revealed
beep.
that the person he was calling was
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
So
that's how she is alerted to Avengers 4. That's how she joins.
Who was also my other big favorite Avenger is Captain Marvel. Not the male version, but the female one, because that's the more Captain Marvel that everyone knows, the more actual Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I can't wait for that movie.
Everyone,
I want to see what happens in Avengers 4, because I want to see what's going to happen. Iron Man, Captain America, all the Avengers are going to be devastated because they've lost everything.
Well, I can't say someone else's, but I can't say because you haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, but it still carries on to happen in Infinity War.
Yeah, I knew they were going to do something to Ant-Man and the Wasp with this whole thing, but
I can't say who all died, but people did die, and part of Thanos did in Ant-Man and the Wasp. People had died, but I can't say who it was.
We'll probably do a review of that movie if we can when I get to see the movie too.
Whenever I come back and
sometime,
you see the movie,
Yeah, we'll do a review, and then we'll definitely do a review of Avengers 4, whatever the title of the movie is going to be. We don't know when it's going to be released. Let's say final thoughts on this movie. I enjoyed it. It was really good.
I personally give this movie a 9 out of 10. Personally.
You give it a 9 out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to be a little different than him. I'm going to give it a 9.9 out of 10. The only reason I felt I wanted to see more of some of the characters, but at the same time it was like, yeah, this movie is focusing on so many characters. It's kind of hard to make a movie where it's going to send everyone equal amount of time. Yeah, some people aren't on screen a lot, but they'll now that the whole team is like split in half and all that, they'll have more time in Avengers 4 to focus on certain characters and
well, the other thing why I think you like that 9 out of 10 also is because it was an amazing movie, but you also have to think the family part of it. You also have to think that's not much for a big movie like your nephew though. How old is he? Like
6.
I'm 6 years old. If you have a 6-year-old who loved Marvel and everything, even my brother, he's only 9, and he once saw it.
I wouldn't take anyone who's like young and a superhero fan because their hearts are gonna be broken. My nephew won't even go.
I was afraid to see my little brother who was only 9, and after the Loki's death, because he loves Loki, I was like, oh my god, I gotta take Bradley out of this movie. He cannot see this movie.
Yeah.
But because he is a big...
I think I'm gonna have to start wrapping this review up because it says we're getting close to the maximum amount of time.
And pretty much
we're getting there.
And we pretty much said everything. So.
But real quick, just go see this movie if you haven't already. It's worth your time.
Yep, and remember to subscribe and if you have not
subscribe to Austin Craft02. I will put his channel in the description. And if you haven't subscribed to me yet, subscribe to me. And if you want, like this video,
and ring
it'll
the
probably be
bell
on his channel too.
notification and everything.
Turn on notifications and
Yep.
everything else.
Yep, see ya.
Bye.